everyone, I'm Carey Pena, and this is a Good Morning Sunshine Mindful Moment. With us in studio, Dr. Kim Feinstein, a licensed clinical psychologist. And what's your area of expertise?
So I specialize in weight loss, weight management, eating disorders, and other comorbid issues like trauma, depression, and anxiety.
Talk about what a healthy relationship with food looks like.
Sure, so that's a great question. A lot of us don't know what that means. And so when we think of a relationship with food, we really want to think about how we relate to food. And so what are the rules that we have? Why are we using food? What is food doing for us, and what is food doing to us? And when we talk about having a healthy relationship, we really want to make peace with food and use it and enjoy it for the right reasons.
How does our relationship with food develop? This is something that can get out of control quickly, and before you know it, you can't get a handle on your day-to-day habits. And that's very stressful.
Oh, it is. And so sadly, these are some other reasons that we could blame on our family and our parents, but our relationship with food really develops at a young age, both from our family, friends, and society. And so not only just our parents modeling certain foods and behaviors that they have, but really also the rules that were set in the home. So were you expected to clean your plate before you left the table? And so what happens is if you have these rules and you were made to feel bad about not finishing your food, or if you were made to feel guilty because there were starving children in some country, these things actually affected how we eat. And so we don't no longer really pay attention to our internal cues for hunger. And we don't start when we're hungry and stop when we're satisfied. We have all of these rules that really affect how we relate to food.
Despite how you've been brought up and what you're used to, your habits are, how do you change that and break through? What would be the first steps to creating a healthy relationship with food?
We want to pay attention and learn what our physical hunger cues are. That typically has physical sensations like tummy rumbling, dizziness, little lightheaded, weak, irritability. And we want to pay attention and eat predominantly for physical hunger. If we're eating for other reasons like emotional hunger or social cues, we're really not developing a healthy relationship with food. We really have to get back to the basics and eat primarily for physical hunger in order to reset our relationship with food.
Let's talk about mental health and the connection between food and mental health, and sort of where do people go mentally when they hear the word diet?
Oh, wow. So usually diet is a 4-letter word. Everybody has reported feeling very similarly when hearing that word. And so usually that word engenders a lot of depression, despair, feelings of restriction and deprivation. And so diet is something that really makes people kind of averse to. And so we want to change that word from diet to lifestyle, because that's how you start to develop a healthier relationship with food, and actually a healthier relationship with your body is to really learn to change lifestyle habits and not so much diet rules.
So it sounds easy when you say it, and I know that you have a very busy practice and a lot of people come in and seek your help. So for folks who are watching this and think, where do I begin? Like, what do I do? I mean, what do you give them, some sort of checklist, or is it more of a mental thing, like get your mind right first and then the food habits will follow?
First, we have to understand many different factors. I really want to help people understand, what are they struggling with? What are they using food for? How did it develop? And then how can we replace those reasons with healthier coping skills for why they're having an unhealthy relationship with food? And so then I can start to teach them, what can we do when we're stressed instead of eating? What can we do instead of eating when we're lonely, angry, hungry, bored, like emotionally hungry? And so we really want to kind of go back to the basics and reteach how we can cope without food.
Can you touch on how food ties in with shame? Because I know that if you're thinking in your mind, I want to do this, I want to be healthier, I want to lose weight, I want to stop eating bad things, and then you don't live up to that, and then there's this shame cycle that it takes place.
Absolutely. And when people have struggled with weight for so long, I think a lot of our shame develops in our fear of failure, of not being able to manage this. I hear all the time, I'm successful in every other area of my life. I'm great at work, I'm an excellent mate. I have wonderful friendships and relationships. How come I cannot master this? And so what happens is that when you failed so many times because either you didn't know how, you didn't have help, or you weren't ready, I think what happens is you start to feel really bad about yourself. And it shifts from I'm doing something wrong, which is guilt, to the shame of I am something wrong. Something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
And that is a very painful and lonely place because you don't want to admit it, right? There's this stigma of not admitting shame, not admitting our deficits and our flaws and masking them. And so we don't really reach out for help a lot of the time. And that's how the shame develops.
What would you want to leave people with today who are watching? This is a struggle for so many people, whether it's just overall health, whether it's related to depression, anxiety, or weight loss, whatever it is. What is your one piece of advice for people who say, I want to be ready. I want to be ready to get right with my own body so I can be my healthiest self?
I want them to know that there's hope. They can absolutely do it. You can be ready, you have to be willing, but you need help to know how. And if you get the right help, you can absolutely shift your mindset, learn new tools and skills and behaviors, and change is absolutely possible, and don't give up.
And are there any foods that you say just stay away from that?
Nope, I believe that you can learn to have some of anything. And that's shifting from the dieter's approach, which is all about restriction, to really being healthy and lifestyle approach, which is all about some. Not all, not nothing, but some.
I love it. Dr. Kim Feinstein, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my
Appreciate
pleasure.
it. And thanks
Thank
to all
you.
of you for watching. I'm Carey Pena. Take good care, be healthy, and take care of each other.